Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Talking Cancer, My Journey, My Way. Um, Today I want to talk about what type of car are you? Are you a brand new car? You have a few years on you? Or are you a classic? How have you taken care of your car? There's multiple ways, of course. And if you think of your body as such, your mind as such, all of the parts kind of could pertain to a car, as a metaphor, of course. Um, Brand new car. Hey, some people just go willy nilly. It's brand new. Just gonna go do everything I want in it, run it up, run miles up on it, do whatever. Some people are very delicate, wash their car, keep up with the routine maintenance. That way it stays efficient for as long as they have it. Then you have cars that have been through a lot, been on long journeys, have hundreds of miles, hundreds of thousands of miles. Um, how have you taken care of that car? Have you done the routine maintenance, oil changes, um, given it good gas, change your oil filter, clean it regularly, um, and then you have your classic car. That car broke down, just sitting there. Does it have a lot of rust? Does it even start? You know, what part of your life are you in? Me, right now, I kind of refer to myself as that I'm I've got about 300,000 miles on me. I'm turning into I'm in the process of turning into a classic. But I've stopped myself in the middle of this, running this car into the ground, and I've chosen to start taking care of it. Start putting on some new tires, check the engine. Notice that there was a few leaks. Start, fixing those leaks. Starting to get it going. Noticing that, hey, you know what? Now that I've dug into the engine, I'm noticing that I'm probably better off just completely rebuilding it from the inside out. Sometimes we need to rebuild ourselves. Sometimes and it's not an overnight thing. It doesn't just like, hey, you put it into a paint shop and it's done. Not everybody has the ability to just throw it in the shop, let somebody else rebuild it, and then you come out looking brand spanking new. Um, some people have that capability. Some people have that money. Some people have a lot of things. But it starts with you wanting to work on it. On however you get there, however you start to achieve these things, it starts with you. Where are you in your rebuilding stage? Mentally, physically, um, who do you want to be? Because ultimately, the way you take care of yourself mentally, physically, um, is going to reflect on you. Did you get rid of all that rust that was building up? We all have these things that have built up over time. All these things that we don't want to look at. Oh, that's a character flaw, or that's that dent. Oh, I don't want to get rid of that dent. I remember back in da 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 when I got that dent. Oh my God, it was such a great time. You know what I mean? Like, that time is done. There's no no reason to keep on carrying that time with you, whether it's good or bad. Have you reflected on who you were or brought up to be? And have you looked at yourself and said, okay, that's not who I am, and accepted, okay, I need to work on me and say, who am I? Am I a reflection of other people's opinion of me? Because all of this is part of your rebuilding stage. In order to, I believe, in order to start your healing process, whether it's something, an ailment that's going on with you, uh, a mental block, things of this nature, um, allowing yourself to be free in some way, I believe a lot of this starts with you learning who you are, who you were, and who you want to become. Um, I choose to want to become a better person, not only to myself, because it starts with me, but I also want to reflect that to my wife, my kids, my family. Um, and don't get me wrong, there are things that continue to, for me, that I battle with, and I have a lot of learning to do, a lot of growing to do, a lot of rebuilding to do. I have a lot of miles on me, and it's going to take some time to roll that odometer back, um, to where I'm fresh again, even if I could get there. Um, but the rebuilding process is real. Um, how many times have you looked at the things that you've been through and said, okay, this is why I'm the way I am? Okay, that's fine. This is why you are the way you are. Cool. Do you want to stay that way? I don't want to stay that way. Me, personally. If I go through all the things that I've been through in my life and use that for as an excuse for the reason I am the way I am, then what's the point of growing old and getting wise? You got to use those things to your advantage to continue to grow and rebuild yourself to be the person that you ultimately choose to be, what with your own opinion, not what not the opinions that other people have been able to use to influence you, because we are, um, that's all we are. It's just a bunch of opinions, and we take all these opinions that people view us as, and we reflect it, and we try to mold ourselves to what other people think. Nah, there has to come a time where you have to rebuild yourself to who you are going to become and who you want to be, whether that's health wise, your diet, your mentality. You are who you are, or who you can be, if you allow yourself to reflect on who you were. Look in the mirror if you have to. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your body. Look at it. Look at your eyes. Look at your mouth. Look at your lips. This is who you are. You don't need. Everybody has a great heart. I believe it. I believe that. Some people choose to just close it off. I don't want you to see the good in me. No, I'm just an ugly bucket, and nobody sees anything. They just see an ugly bucket. You know what I mean? But you're not really an ugly bucket, because on the inside you drive really well, or you do all these things. So why not let that person shine? You have the ability to heal yourself. I've said this many times before, um, and I am a true believer of that. And during my podcast, uh, and with the time that you continue to spend with me, um, my appointments, my doctor's appointments, and everything that I'm doing to rebuild myself is going to reflect in my outcome. I have no problem letting you in, because I am no longer going to be what other people perceive me to be. I'm just going to be the genuine me. I care. I love. Sometimes it could be the way, or my tone could sound um, a little brash, excuse me, um, or abrasive. But truly, that's just not where I'm coming from. Or maybe, somebody might be so used to me saying something a certain way, but I don't mean it that way. Um, so I hope that who you are is your true you. Because if you're harboring um, the past, things that may have happened to you, things you didn't have, uh, all of these things, trust me, if you're harboring these things, they will come back to haunt you somehow, some way. Whether it's a disease like cancer, um, diabetes, eczema, you name it. So many different diseases and just things, dementia, you name it, that just happen, and we continue to not have an understanding because, and believe me, these are just my thoughts. Um, as I could become in tune with who I am, um, as I become in tune to talking to God, and He just giving me the words to say, I'm just that. We are self healing. I believe this. Um, and if we don't start to understand that uh, we can do these things, not only with mental clarity and embracing who we truly are, which is love and light, um, understanding that the foods and things that we eat are just not right. Taste great, don't get me wrong, taste great. All these prepackaged foods, all these different sauces that are created, all these, steroid injected chickens and beefs and all this stuff that we create and that are packaged and processed. I mean, they're amazing. But I found out that I have the willpower to consume what I want, and what I don't need, I could push away easily. I found that out as I did my 20-day fast. It was easy for me. My mentality is strong, and maybe because I'm fighting a deadly disease that I don't want to feed. Um, but it's easy. It really, really, truly is. We get so caught up in all the things that we truly don't need in our life: chips, dips, candies, you know, packaged biscuits, muffins, you know, string cheese, you name it. All these packaged things that have chemicals in it to keep shelf life, longevity in their shelf life. And we don't understand that this is, poison in our bodies. We're putting bad gas into our car. Just a little food for thought for you, therapy for me, and just words that are just given to me that's not pre-written. It's all unscripted, straight off the top of my head and how I feel, embracing who I am, embracing where I'm headed, embracing my rebuilding process. Um, I love you. I hope your journey is a reflection of exactly who you are and who you want to be. Um, I want to thank you for listening. Um, if you have any questions or anything like that, or would like to join me in a podcast, please leave me a message somehow, somewhere. I believe you could leave a voice message, but I could, tap in with you, send you an email, invite, things like that. Um, this podcast you can also find on iHeartRadio as well, Google Podcast, and I'm attempting to try to figure out something with my YouTube, try to get the same dialogue on my YouTube channel for those who frequent YouTube as well. But again, I do want to appreciate you for listening, and I will talk to you guys soon, more than likely 24 hours from now. So I love you. Peace, love, one.